Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick 12 of my favorite 30 progressive rock albums of the 70s. Countdown, 30 days here in June 2023. My 30 favorite prog rock albums released in that great decade. The first and classic decade of progressive rock. We've had lots... Tala agrees with that statement. We've had, of course, a resurgence of progressive rock since probably the early 90s. We had a little bit of it also in the early 80s, but the heyday, the classic era of prog was, of course, the 70s. So many great albums to talk about. But unfortunately, I only have 30 spots to fit favorites. So I have limited myself to a maximum of 3 albums per any one band, in hopes to get as much in here as I can. But there's so many other great albums that aren't going to get mentioned that I love a lot, but can only fit 30. So let's move on to today's pick. It is the 4th album from this British band. Gee, what a surprise, right? Released December 1st, 1972. Recorded at Vision Studios in London, England. Produced by the band for Vertigo in the UK, Columbia here in the States. I'm talking about Octopus by Gentle Giant. Yes, indeedy. Look at that gorgeous Roger Dean artwork there. For those here in the States, that's the cover we got. I also think it's a pretty cool cover. I mean, nothing beats the Roger Dean one, but this is pretty neat as well, I think. Kind of different, right? So I like how on the Steven Wilson remix reissue, you get both covers there, which is pretty cool because I've had multiple copies of this over the years. I've had both covers. The first time I ever bought it on CD was, of course, with the U.S. Cover. Then I bought I think it was like a German pressing on CD or something like that, and I got the other one. And then there was another remaster of it with the Roger Dean. I got that, and then they did this again. So I've bought Octopus many times over the years. I think this is the one I'm kind of sticking with at this point because the remix is just absolutely wonderful. So of course, like I mentioned, this is the 4th studio album from the band. This is also the last album with brother and founding member Phil Shulman in the lineup. Of course, Phil Shulman, trumpet, tenor saxophone, baritone saxophone, mellophone, backing vocals, lead vocals, right? He's joined on this album by, of course, his brothers, Derek Shulman, lead vocals, alto sax, Ray Shulman, bass guitar, violin, viola, electric violin, acoustic guitar, percussion, backing vocals, Gary Green, electric guitar, percussion, Kerry Minier, all sorts of keyboards like piano, Hammond organ, mini Moog, electric piano, mellotron, clavinet, vibraphone, cello, lead and backing vocals, and of course John Weathers, first album with the band. John Weathers joins the band on drums and percussion, backing vocals, right? So this, in one way, kind of makes up the classic lineup of the band, but kind of not, because I think, some people look at it's hard to say, because when the Phil Shulman era ends, the John Weathers era begins. So most people either look at this lineup, which wasn't together all that long, or the next lineup, basically the same lineup, without Phil, as kind of like the classic lineup of Gentle Giant. So it depends on how you look at it, right? So as far as the material on this album, I mean, just classic. You have one of the... excuse me. Man, allergies kicking in this morning. Again, it's been brutal this week. The Advent of Panurge, which... one of the great Gentle Giant tracks. I mean, this album is so kind of wrapped in mystique and whimsy and this very British, majestic, powerful feel to it, right? It's complicated and all of the arrangements are very dense, and there's lots going on. There's a big use of counterpoint. At times it's very serious sounding. At times it's, like I said, it's whimsical and quirky. I mean, that's Gentle Giant for you, right? You just can't pin these guys down at all. So Advent of Panurge leads things off. Just incredible track. Then you got the great Raconteur Troubadour, which has some wonderful vocal harmonies. Just, really, really good. Kerry Mineo wrote that song. Great vocal from Derek Shulman on that particular one. And the one good thing about this band is their use of the voices. Right, I mean, you got going back to Advent of Panurge. I mean, you've got Kerry singing, you got Derek singing, you got Ray singing on there, and the way those voices intertwine, they do these a cappella things, just really, really different stuff. Then you got A Cry for Everyone. All right, more like a rock song. Great vocal from Derek on that one, and then of course the ridiculously complex Knots. I mean, again, use of counterpoint, the vocal fugue. I mean, all these different instruments, guitars and recorders and keyboards and just sax. It's crazy stuff. I mean, most normal bands would never think to write and execute music like this. But it's so great on the ears, right? And again, Knots has got all those vocals kind of popping in and out, right? It's very, very cool stuff. And then, of course, on side 2, you got the boys in the band. Great instrumental. Again, more like a standard rock arrangement on that one. Excellent stuff. Then you got the lovely Dog's Life, which has a great tender vocal from Phil Shulman. Then Think of Me with Kindness, another great song. Got a Kerry Mineo vocal on that one. He's got a very, very gentle melodic voice. I always like when Kerry sings. It's always good to get at least 1 or 2 vocals from him on all these albums. And then, of course, the great River. I mean, River is just excellent. It's the longest song on the album. That's the one thing. Gentle Giant did not do long songs for the most part. They have a couple of them throughout their history, but they are more a kind of 4-minute long track. That's generally where they operate in. River, also really cool. Fast-paced song, right? Nice use of different instruments on that one, and great soloing too. Again, the band didn't go nuts with solos. This is all intricate ensemble work on most of their albums, and which they're just such a unique band. Anyway, I can go on and on talking about Gentle Giant and this great album all day long, but we're already running long, so let me see. Are there any charting information for you here? Well, it made it to number 170 on the U.S. Billboard charts. That's about it. Again, this is Gentle Giant were always more of a cult band, right? They just never a big seller, very niche audience, but over the years so well respected. And as far as it had it actually released in the UK first in December 1972, December 1st, and then here in the States it came out in February 1973. But yeah, that's it as far as chart positions. No certifications. That's okay. Like we've said before, some of the best albums are not necessarily the ones that sold the most, right, or charted the highest. It doesn't always work out that way. But it is a great one. It's my number 12. So let us know what you think of Octopus down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today. And visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I just realized I probably gave away my pick today with wearing a Gentle Giant shirt. I didn't really plan that. It just kind of worked out that way. Where did I leave off? Please subscribe if you haven't already. And click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button. Before we leave, also we got the links below to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page, and those links are below in the video description, so thanks in advance for all your support there. And we'll see you tomorrow morning with pick number 11 as we wind down this month, right? We're getting down to the nitty gritty before we move into the heavier albums of the 70s, right? It's coming up next. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tonight on the Hudson Valley Squares. Till then, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Juneteenth Day, everybody. And for those of you here in the States, and we'll see you real soon here with more stuff. I'm Pete Pardo. Bye-bye.